Yeah. Permission to speak. Yeah. Permission to speak. Yeah. Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Really. Yeah. Permission to speak. Permission to what? Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Permission to speak. Freely permission to speak. Permission to speak. Freely.
Today, well, actually, we're not in the studio. We at Lounge 87. In here, we get slumpty dumpty, okay? We get to talking a little freely, sometimes healthy, loose at the lips, but saying some of the things that we really need to say. I got my man and recurring guest, Marcellus Clay, owner of Full Surface Cleaning, owner of Full Surface Painting Company.
No, At one point in time, like I was doing like cleaning for like a lot of the apartments and stuff that I was paying for. So the name, in all honesty, you wouldn't even be wrong about the like it happened. The shit did happen. It happened.
See, I done made a mistake, but actually spoke up some truth, man. No, for sure, man. Man, so I want to bring you up to speed on a couple things, man. I've been working. One of the things that I've been working on was music production. So Freedom Speakers, I've been tapping into a little bit of my beat making and producing for the podcast. And I stepped into music a little bit, making instrumentals, beats, looking to work with local artists and just global artists possibly, but I was able to create a beat, take some samples, speed them up, slow them down, put some drums and things over them, and was able to make some things that are pretty catchy. I got a chill, lo-fi, hip-hop type of beat, but certain things I kind of connect together because I just like the sound of it, man. But that's what music is. You kind of, push and bend sound. So I ended up creating a beat called Trenches by Chief Ali. You can go stream it on anywhere right now. You can go stream this song on all listening platforms. It's Chief Ali Trenches. Go look it up on Spotify, Amazon Music. It's taking a while to get to Apple Music, and I've learned I should have predated it 5 or 7 days before the release date, which was the date that I submitted it to the DSPs. So I should have said release date 7 days prior, so it could have did its thing, man. But beyond that, that was one thing that I've done.
That shit is fire too, you all.
Thank you.
Like some Terrence, like if you like Terrence Martin type of music, like the hip hop with like the jazz, the smooth type of like melody type of beat, Trenches is what you're looking for. Trenches is what you're looking for. Because when I heard that shit, I was like, oh, this shit just made my morning for real.
Oh man, thank you.
For real.
So go look up and search the song Trenches by Chief Ali. It's on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere. Go check it. Run those numbers up for me. So I say this, man, as I start tapping into media a little bit more, making beats and using those the certain gadgets that came on my MacBook, the iMovie, GarageBand, a lot of that stuff helped me just tap into being more of a creative. So I actually am looking to switch the podcast, not just having it audio, but having it video as well. I'm working with a great talent from the Cleveland area, Desmond Clay. He's a videographer. So he's going to produce a lot of the video podcasts moving forward for us. And then he's going to create the introduction to the video podcast. It's going to help create that. It's the day in the life of Chief Ali. What I do every day, I get up and I meditate, find my balance, man. Thank the universe. Tap into dad, knock that out. Tap into husband, handle him. Go be about myself for a little bit. Then it's like I'm my truest self or my rawest self. Then I go put my other self on when I go to work. You know what I'm saying? When I got to interact with different people and, you know, put my a different self on when I'm a son, different self on when I'm a big brother, little brother, so on and so forth, man. But he's going to help bring that visual to life in like a music video-esque, but cinematic.
Right.
So I'm very excited for it. This is pretty much like his audition to be able to us to work together on more art and be able to really show Cleveland together, man, you know, a collaborative view from, you know, his vision, my vision, and we kind of putting it out there and letting the people be the judge of it, you know, the freedom speakers here on the show. So I'm very excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. Freedom speakers, I would love some feedback. Let me know what you think. This video coming soon.
That's big facts right there. Like, that sounds like some real like major moves as far as taking the vision from audio, like you said, to actually making it, you know, it's picture, you know, making it into something visual. And that's going to help the audience and the people who are tuning in, and even like newer viewers. That's going to help them tune in like a whole lot more. And then, you know, nothing, in my opinion, nothing is more inspirational than being able to see inspiration at work, and still in the process of still trying to even, you know, still, you know, build to even still get to where you want to be at. Oftentimes we see people who are already there, and it's harder to relate because, you know, they're already there. So it's like, okay, like, we get it to a degree, but it's like to actually see and witness their journey. Like, that's the type of stuff like I like to watch. Like, I'm in it. Like, I like watching stuff like that, seeing journeys and seeing, you know, people evolve into the people who like they're supposed to be. You know, whether it's a good story or it could be hell. It could be one of them stories that's like, it's a cautionary tale. It's like what happens when you decide to, you know, go against the grain and do what you ain't, you know what I'm saying, do what you ain't supposed to be doing. Making a move you're not supposed to be making. So I like that. Like, that's an amazing idea. Like, I definitely feel like that's definitely like you're trying to like you're really about to take the podcast like to like a whole nother level for real.
Yeah, I hope to be able to use the podcast as the catapult and be able to speak to the people more, match a face to a voice, and a few of the other projects that Desmond and I are going to work on will give the visuals of the operations that I run, our transportation line, our adult day center, and our residential center, which is still our residential housing, which is 24 hours a day. We command about 30 people, 5 administrators, and then we have people on the payroll who are contractors, like our lawyer on a retainer, our accountant or retainer. People, mainly them two, mainly them two. But seeing how I get to interact with them, the family, I have to make sure I'm staying, on top of things. So having a visual and this person kind of seeing the day in the life of me and how I interact with things and people, it gives a hefty backing to stories that I speak about on the show, especially being an entrepreneur, businessman. This year, 2024, March 23rd would make 11 years we've been in business. God willing, man, I still got my certifications and audits and documents I still got to turn into who licensed me, my checks and balances as the owner. Still being able to keep my government contracts and my local contracts with insurance companies and things like that. I still have to walk those great lines as well. Owning a transportation line as well. I gotta buy 16 tires sometimes all at once. Right, what I'm saying? For 8 vans. Has 16 tires. So making sure we have that, and that once the vans get a certain age, we can, flip them out, and we can kind of, wash the fleet, keeping insurance up on those when people just, it's the law to have insurance, but people tend to ding things. So just, it can weigh heavy mentally on the operation and the maintenance of keeping things, going. But I'm built for it. I'm thankful for it. The video was showed the office locations. It'll show our fleet of vehicles in and out. It'll show like our homes, the glimpses of it. But he'll get a chance to bring this vision of me to life and what my day is with a heavy, heavy dash of humor. It won't be serious. It won't be, reality TV that's dramatized. It's reality TV full of humor. Like, you get to see who I am. And I'm a very comical person. I'm a comedian. So everything will be magic. Most things will be, funny but controversial, but it'll leave you thinking and educated. But you like, hey, I want to come back. You know what I'm saying? So this person is going to help me bring that to life, take that stress off of my shoulders to be able to try to do that videography myself. And I don't have the time to. I gotta just be the star, baby. I just gotta be the star.
So let me ask you this, and I was just thinking about this too. I'm like, well, I think how like what I'm gonna start doing each time like I'm on the show and we get to talking, I want to ask you like we should like just randomly just ask a question like, what's the mindset that you personally feel like you have to be in order to personally, as far as like, because like when you buy a Hot Wheels track, it has the instructions, connect this to that, make the curve. What's the mindset that you as an individual that you have in order to be able to try and build this road that you have no instructions to?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Here at Therapeutic Relations Healthcare Services, we provide essential services to essential people. We offer 24-hour residential care, transportation, adult day, and vocational training. We provide a safe and healthy environment that teaches daily living skills while offering activities that stimulate. Our passion goes far beyond the care of our clients. Our staff are highly trained professionals equipped to handle what comes their way. We like to think of ourselves as people-first employers. Accept the challenge and join our team now at Therapeutic Weekend.
That's a really good question, man. Thank you for asking that. From what I learned on my journey is take as many breaks as you need to, especially if there's no directions. You don't want to get too off of progress that you can gauge. You know what I'm saying? Never stop moving. It don't matter what direction, just keep momentum. And sometimes you'll have to take a step back because you didn't learn a lesson there. You got to learn that lesson. You got to kind of re-up and recoup from that to learn how you got to go through that to get to that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say that. I'll say be easy on yourself. Do your research. Okay, do your research. Make really good guess, hypothesis, one of those. Psych yourself. Sometimes, like what I find me now at the place is I'll have the vision in my mind of how I need to start, execute, finish, have the tools to be able to do it, but then I won't have the energy to move. I won't have the energy to move. It'll be, I do it another time. As soon as I think about it and I've learned, as soon as I think about it and I see the process, I gotta do it. I gotta strike while the iron hot, as they call it. Once I let it fizz out or fizzle down, it's gone. Now I'm sitting there kind of like, it was too easy for you anyway. It was bull anyway. So keeping yourself mentally like happy or as up as you can. I tend to find myself willing to do things when I feel good, you know? So I'll say that, man. And I say probably the biggest thing is acknowledging there is no map. So what is right or wrong? What is, like, can't beat yourself up about it, but give yourself a pat on the back for just moving. You know how many people stay stagnant? You know how many people feel like ignorant? They purposely make themselves ignorant. I can't live in that type of bliss. I can't live it because I know too much. Once you've expanded your mind, it just does not deflate the same. It don't go back to the same shape it was. So, freedom speakers, anything or any advice that I can give to any listeners that's a hustler, that's out here hungry, that person that's really looking for direction, looking for a way. You looking for signs. You're putting yourself in positions, hoping something happens. Like that something will happen. Okay, you have to keep moving. You have to keep going. You can't dictate when your break gonna come. Okay, you can't dictate it, but you gotta. Man, opportunity will come. But when you showing yourself and you showing up and you putting yourself in positions, opportunity will catch your scent, man. But it doesn't. It won't. It's not coming to the talented person that's not exposing themselves. You have to expose yourself. You have to take that chance. And this is where I'm sitting now, even with myself, of like giving this advice, because I had to sit there, and I'm sitting there now in a whole nother space with the podcast, with the music production, with the media of, hey, this is me having art or things that I'm proud of that I've created and done. Give me your opinion. You got to be ready for the ridicule. You got to be ready for that and be able to bounce off of that, because it's going to come. And a lot of it is mental, because, you know, somebody hitting you can sting, but what somebody else say can stick with you. It can just stick with you, and it's just playing in your head. So mentally prepare yourself as much as you can. Keep yourself as happy as much as you can. Program yourself for a good time, a slither sanctuary. Program that. If it's lighting up your joint, if it's getting you your beer, if it's like, hey man, my little cheap food, eat my little Reese cup. If it's just, flirting with your lady, if it's just, whatever it is that gets you feeling good and get your mojo going. You can't forget to do the task, because you done, teased yourself with some pleasure. But you got to be able to be like, hey man, I got to handle this, because this is going to be my reward later. This drink gonna be my reward later. My little smoke gonna be my reward later. Getting some buns gonna be my reward later, man. And I say this, man, just speaking free as fuck, man. Like getting some ass, getting some sex in the diet, that solve about 76-77% of the problems, man.
Actually, yeah.
Help me think a little clearer.
If I get to stretch a bit more, I'm like, 20 years younger.
Yeah. I done worked up probably a good little sweat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel recreated. I feel worked out. I feel good. So I'll take that momentum and say, all right, let me go ahead and get domestic on some shit. Let me clean house on things. Let me go to the business and handle some stuff. But I'll ride that good wave. So it really starts with the mental. If I can give anything, it starts with your mental, what you program. Let me retract it. Start in your mental. Okay, I don't want to subject it to just one thing. It starts with you as the being. All right. I know people some would view that they don't have brains, but they got heart. They got heart. Okay. All right. It starts with the being and whatever powers you have in there. Once you feel you want to let these powers out, and these powers can come out through art, normally, through skills, through desires. Once you let these out, you get to see how the same we are, but how different we are. How our art speaks, but though it's my art, you connect with it. Like music. This is why music is one of the most dangerous things, because you can make an anthem that people go to war to, people fight over, fight the power that be. You know what I'm saying? You got people who get married to them, have sex to them. People got breakups on, but it's a language. It's a language, man. So, you got to use, your tools. So it starts with, it starts with the being, what you find within yourself that you want to bring out and share with the world. The world has the freedom to share something back, and everybody might not in their being have art. Some might have hate. Some might have trauma. Some might have been scolded by things that they shouldn't have had to endure. So when they don't know how to come up with something that's possibly beautiful, they're coming up with something that's painful or ugly because it represents how they feel. So you got to be leery of that. It's gonna happen. You can't have the good without the bad. Can't have the good without the bad. That's the yin and the yang of things. So, freedom speakers, if I can give any other advice, is learn to take the good with the bad. Happy ain't as happy without the sad.
I agree. It definitely, I think like it starts with oneness, and just having an understanding about shit. I personally feel like when you actually can have a certain level of understanding, whereas some people may get mad about certain things, but you can just say, well, it's actually like this, but I do get it though, but yeah, I'm okay with it. When you have oneness and you can actually understand both sides of the fence, understand everything, and at least try to have an understanding about things, when situations arise when you do try to level up, or hell, it could even be you start your business and you feel so heavily inspired that you just want to just jump and start another one, but then jump and start another one. And just like what you're saying, even with trying to build that road, you don't necessarily know what's going to happen so long as you try. But there's also nothing wrong with doubling. There's also nothing wrong with going back and refining what you currently have going on. Even if that means you just want to just build up just a little bit more confidence in yourself to be able to take on that next challenge, or that next thing or whatever. It could be a number of things. It's just about being okay with where you're at, but understanding that so long as you're trying to make these moves and do it, something's going to happen. Like you said, the universe is going to react some way, somehow. And so long as from what I've seen, so long as you're trying to put in the right type of energy, and you know what your goal is, you can see the bullshit come, but you won't let that shit stick with you. Eventually you get to having a dodging a bit like Muhammad Ali. Like, what? Like, well, you didn't even touch my chick, boy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even touched me.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Please tap into me on IG. That's the primary platform. Permission, the number 2_ Speak Freely Podcast. That's permission, the number 2_ Speak Freely Podcast.
Absolutely, straight up. And you can follow me as well, Laylo the Most, at LAYLOE.THAMOS. And definitely follow us, man. Engage with us, ask us questions. Get engaged, man. Freedom Speakers. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And we protect y'all as well. Permission to speak.
Yeah, it's going to, and I think you mentioned it on the last one of the other episodes. After a while, certain things will become automatic. You'll know it's going to be a part of the game. You're going to know, you'll be able to predict a little bit better when certain things are coming. You'll catch a rhythm. So when you are this far in the game, and I kind of give a lot of people lately, like the origins of us, from sewer to entrepreneur, please continue to listen, people, for, those segments and things. I kind of just drop in a little bit sometime from show to show. But when we started the business, I had a mentor who I love and I'm greatly appreciative of the information, man, Lewis Thompson. He gave me a lot of information. He was seasoned in his field, had his agency going, transferred his business into multiple other things. And, he didn't live and die with healthcare like myself. He, ventured into other stuff, blossomed into great things. But I continued to grow into this and tap into other industries within this. But he was the person who gave me the initial game of how to get into the healthcare industry, such as myself. We are contracted with the Board of Developmental Disabilities, DODD for short. We take care of individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We provide 24-hour healthcare service, residential, and we provide transportation. These are all 3 different business entities. Residential is a business on its own, transportation is a business on its own, and adult day is a business on its own. We run them all simultaneously. We started with just drop-in sites. We started with just having the will to want to work, having a hustle. And once my mentor was able to help me with the paperwork, which is the easy part of things, as I sit 11 years in, documentation is the easiest part of running a business. Once we got certified and I got the LLC and I got my tax ID, it was like, okay, I thought the money was gonna roll in. No. Now it's time to bring your business. Can you market? Can you advertise? Do you understand a certain level of sales? Do you have a certain people skills? Do you have customer service voice? Can you dress appropriately? So just a lot of things that makes you have to step up on a different echelon level. I knew how to provide care, hand-to-hand care, but I didn't know how to provide care through a business. So still faking it till you make it, but I didn't forget to make it. Even before business, I was resourceful. I was a resourceful motherfucker. Now I'm a resourceful motherfucker. Still the same me, just enhanced, tapping into that. I can do more. I can help more. I can be able to be that. But before then, I was on the place where I needed help. So I know how it feels to somebody giving you a break, throwing you some rope, giving you an opportunity. And you like, I can't fumble this, man, because it make us both look bad. I fuck up on you looking out for a G, and then I'm sitting back, people mad, oh, yeah, ain't nobody helping nobody. Nigga on top ain't looking out. It's like, it's hard enough for him to take care of himself, let alone giving out shit or being generous or feeding people's entitlement. You know, it's a difficult thing. It's actually hurtful. But just understanding, like you, understanding your goals, understanding where you want to be. Everybody can't go and everybody won't go. That's another hurtful part of it. And we learned these things just early when we would make like certain gains. We would get 1 or 2 clients and we would get some callbacks. And even though some will be denials, but it'll still be like, hey, you didn't get this client, but hey, I got somebody else in mind. Or they'll like our personality enough and say, hey, I think this will be a good fit for you. And every little bit, man, I learned from. My wife learned from. She's with me every step of the way. So just, I always had a keen for hustle and knowledge, man, for education, just a sponge, bro. I'm still a sponge now. I got a little mildew on me. You know what I'm saying? Right. I've been, I ain't get ringed out in a good time. I need to get swallowed up real good. Swallowed, scooped and swallowed up. But all of that, man, I'm still a sponge to soak up that information and that knowledge and apply it. I heard Nipsey say one time, like, I still gang, I still hustle. You know what I'm saying? He like, if I hear you saying something or doing something and I like that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I might, borrow that from you. You know what I'm saying? Just on some.
He pieced it together.
Yeah, for sure. So what I like to say is like, hey, I'll adopt some of that.
Yeah.
I'll take a little piece of this, twist it up, boom, 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 do a little thing on my own. But hey, I made it my own, but just showing homage to like, hey, bro, I see you. I'm thankful that I was around to catch that from you. Hey, this is what I built from just watching you. On one of them, like, oh yeah, I could see what you know what I'm saying? I could respect. It's all inspiration, bro. That's that's all that it is, man. And showing so I tell you this, man. Freedom Speakers, if you didn't know, Marcellus is an artist beyond just painting homes and decor, interior, exterior, things of that nature, man. He's a legitimate artist. I have artwork in my home of this man's that I fucking know, bro, one day it's gonna be worth it's gonna be an astronomical number that people gonna be putting up their houses and cars to be able to like, hey, I just want one of these. I want one of these clays up in my home.
Right.
This clay edition. I'm just making up shit. You can have it if you like. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I don't own that.
For sure.
But people buy art. Okay, so that's one thing. People buy art, and art isn't one. It's subjective. Okay, just like comedy, just like music, it's subjective. It may not be for everybody, but there's a value of it go up when you got originals, and then the person popularity pretty much goes up. Bruh, you shit gonna continue to rise, and I'm gonna be one of the motherfuckers coming out the back like, no, nigga, I got an original. Okay, I got an original of this man's. Man, when we was just chopping it, smoking, talking shit, plans, and then we seeing these plans come to life. Now we live in the plans.
Right.
Which is Freedom Speakers. To bring it full circle, from starting from business and nothing with just a hope and a dream to sitting sometimes in a place where I gotta be, like I have to have a reality check from family and friends and people who knew me before a certain level of success, if you will, that it keeps me grounded. It lets me know people who really care for me, who really love me. At the same time, it brings a certain feeling of like thankfulness, a certain feeling of like I gotta check my reality. Like, am I really living what I said I wanted? I'm in the simulation that I built myself. it takes people who love me to give me that reality check. Like, hey man, you remember when your mama whooped your ass at the school one day because you was fucking up the teacher car and you just came up there and slapped the shit out you in front of your classmates? Yeah, I remember that, Kenwan. I remember that nigga, man. I remember when you got hit by the car on 71st, you fucked that lady car up, and you had your afro getting up and shit. Yeah. I remember that, Kenwan. I remember him, and it's like, damn, you right. If I forgotten who I am, then it's like, no, we know you know who you are. It's just real niggas gonna keep a reminder on your ass too, just so you don't get out of line.
And truth be told, sometimes there are instances where you may not have a lot of people around you reminding you who you are. And it's funny that you actually mentioned that, because like I've found myself recently I was talking to my little brother. I found myself recently just like telling him, like, you know, since I've started, you know, running, you know, doing business and started, you know, doing pretty good, I've been going back and like retrying shit that I gave up on, like, you know, whether it's like a video game or, you know, it could be trying to redraw, it could be trying to draw or paint something. It was just like, you know what, let me go back and try and see if I've progressed as like a person. And damn, like, hell, I've even sat, like, I like anime, but you can't really say like anime unless you're willing to sit down and watch like the full like Japanese and like read it in full. I was binge watching Boruto, the story about Naruto's son. Like, I was binge watching that whole entire show. Tried doing it before, and was just like, yeah, I can't do this. Like, but decided to give it a try again. It was good. Like, even like going back and playing certain games that I might have given up on, or felt like I probably could have played the game 1,000 times better if I actually took the time out to actually learn how to like actually play the game. So, you know, but even more so, like just going back and just like even like rewatching like certain cartoon shows that I actually like watch growing up, just rewatching it, or just actual TV shows. Like, it really didn't matter, but sometimes you need to like do little stuff to like.
Yeah, some things that can remind you of yourself, that remind you of like good times, remind you of, like you say, nostalgic moments. That's what I like to call them. Nostalgic moments take you back to a place in your youth, your childhood, a good happy moment. You know what I'm saying? Someplace that only people who knew you when y'all all didn't have nothing know you. You know what I'm saying? So Freedom Speakers, have you ever been at a place or ever dealt with somebody and you had to give them a reality check? In a good or bad way, but, you know, let them know, like, hey, baby, you know, I see what you're doing. I want to let you know, keep doing what you're doing. I remember all phases of you. I'm happy to see you where you are now, baby. Good job. Or sometimes you could be like, hey, calm your wild ass down. You ain't the king of things. You ain't the queen of shit. You acting like your ass don't stink either. Let us know if you have Freedom Speakers. We would love to hear from you. So, Mark, I got one heavy question for you. When you find yourself at a place where you stressed out and you like, hey man, I'm not, you know, I'm in my feelings of whatever. Give me just one or two things that you do that can help you kind of bring up out of that.
Well, I try to for one self-examine myself. So, you know, if it was a situation where like I could have like done better or make a better choice of like, or tried a bit more harder or whatever, then I'll definitely try my hardest to like sit down and like just analyze everything. If I'm right, then cool, like I'm right, and I'll be fine, and like I'll be fine. But if I know that I'm wrong, then like I'll try and do what I can to fix it. But so long as I know for a fact that I've tried to do what I can to fix it, whatever happens after that, it happens, and I can't control it. So I try to show myself a level of grace and like meditation. When I meditate, I try to find some type of grace, whether it's I'm right or whether I'm wrong. Show myself some grace. The other thing that I also do is sometimes I won't sleep. Sometimes like I'll try my hardest to fall asleep, and like I'll find myself back up like 2 hours, Sometimes even like around the same time, like by like 4 a.m, I find myself just up, and like no desire to watch TV, no desire to really do anything besides just still try to figure it out. I try to resort to internally like making sure that like everything is like on the up and up for the most part. So self-re-examining, making sure that like I'm not in the wrong, you know, or just, you know, and then also too just saying next time I'm gonna just do this. So, but I've learned, I've come to see that like my level of stress has been like I still get stressed, but it's not as bad as like it used to be.
You've been finding yourself like in a healthier space, or you, what you've been doing has been working.
Accountability. I had to hit the blunt thing of the word. Accountability. I've been just accepting accountability, even if I'm wrong. Still accepting accountability, because in all honesty, I don't want a hard day. I don't want a rough day, like none whatsoever. Accountable. So I try to be accountable with whatever the situation is, no matter what. And that helps me keep a level of stress down. Because for one, it's like I can live with it. I can live with it. Whether it's good or bad, I can live with it so long as I know that I actually tried to make a better outcome for it. I just let it go. I will stress like shit. In all honesty, shit, I stress when my pockets get low. That's what stresses me out. That's what makes me that's what turns me to a motherfucking bear. That's what makes me mad. When my pockets get low.
Yeah. Pockets get low, stomach get hungry. Man, nope. We can't be friends right now.
What's this feeling coming over me? Sleep? I don't even fucking know you. I'm broke. I ain't got sleep. No, I gotta try and figure out how to get it.
Right, so I'll say this real quick, man. When we were talking about taking a step back, Freedom Speakers, I have curriculums that I teach through my Ben Boston Business Academy. Just information I've learned just from a self-made entrepreneur. Information my own, just pretty much my own story, but the financial things that I've learned, and that I'm still learning. I'm no financial guru, but I'm extremely disciplined. I am extremely disciplined. I am a penny pinching, frugal, extremely generous motherfucker. I got a whole budget just to be nice.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Just a whole budget to be generous, man. But it's like, hey, nigga, I write it off as miscellaneous. I ain't gonna get this $50 back.
Right,
I ain't gonna get this $100 back. Fuck it, it's in the wind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I know I can't let certain things get below a certain margin because not a machine not running smooth. Just like, hey, you got to keep the oil in the engine at a certain level because, hey, this is optimum. This it runs at its best right here. Anything below this margin right here, it start getting serious, man. So when it get to the money, when it get to making sure you collecting, it'll teach you man. So as a Freedom Speakers, as a business owner, it'll teach you how you gotta stand on business. It seems like that's the quote everybody been using. As a businessman, I've been like, shit, what the hell? What the fuck was you standing on before business? A businessman would like to know.
For real, right?
What were you standing on before?
Principle.
Accountability.
Right.
They lying. It's just bull, man. Whatever it is. But I'm still learning it, man. So in the Ben Boston Business Academy, this curriculum, man, I teach financial literacy, how to understand your bands, you know, giving yourself really some discipline and accountability, man. So when I launched this in 2020, launched the Ben Boston Business Academy in 2020, I took this curriculum from just like the information I said I've learned, but the different tiers. So the first tier was, so you want to be an entrepreneur, huh? And in that first tier, it kind of gives people just the insight of what it is to open up your LLC or your S Corp. So keep in mind for people, man, I just want to say this as a disclaimer. Okay, just as a disclaimer, all right? There are other classifications in business besides an LLC. Okay. I don't have the time today to get all into them, but I'll tell you how I am classified. Okay. I am an S Corp. I am a corporation. Public broadcasting brought to you by PBS Ken.
By PBS Ken.
But we're structured as a corporation. It helps on the benefit of taxing. These are not negatives. These are government laws that businesses are privy to, because the business is what really keeps the economy going. Everything is operating. At the gas station is a business. Your weed man a business. You paying rent is a business. The grocery store is a business. Going to get your license is a business. All of that. So the first package is, hey man, so you really want to be an entrepreneur, huh? Kind of breaks down the curriculum of what it is to get into business, marketing yourself, advertising yourself, getting you some lines of credit, things of that nature. The second package is hungry for more. That's where you have gotten a taste of success. You got a good system now of, I got some traction. I got to keep up with a demand now. Your advertisement then worked a little bit. Your marketing then worked a little bit. Your sales pitch then worked a little bit. You got a good thing going when you meet people now. You got a good personality. You got a good shirt now. You got a good pair of shoes. They see you selling yourself, your being. Not just your heart, not just your mind. You selling your being. So when they see you, they're like, hey man, I like him. I like that guy. So now you really putting in the work. You hungry for it. You out here searching, you sharpening yourself up, you soaking everything up, you a sponge. Once you hit a certain level in there, is you're gonna be promoting up. You're gonna be developing things for people as you keep building. Which takes me to my third tier that I teach, was the money does the work around here now. You've done leveled up and developed yourself up to now that, hey, you don't have the time to be out there working and tinkering on those vans, because, hey, your time is better occupied elsewhere, devising plans and building relationships and gaining resources and just alliances, different places. You got to be able to speak, got to be face to face with some of those things. You can't be out here tinkering with a van. You've developed yourself up in a position where you got people who are willing and want to do that. They're applying for it. And then now you got potentially people in a leadership position that they follow those checks and balances of those things, so that now you are developing, you on a place where, how much that costs? All right, we got a budget for that. How much, what we need to do? Okay, we got a budget for that. Okay, man, we need what? Okay, hire somebody for that. You can't do everything. You're in the development stage now. The money takes care of it. Your money is working for you now. It is handling a lot of the things in the business. Is why you get to see in any industry, 99 out of 100 times, money solves the problem. So, Freedom Speakers, you can find me on Instagram at permission_2_speak freely podcast.
You can find me on Instagram at Full Surface Painting. You can also find me on Facebook by my name, Marcellus Clay. And you can also find me on TikTok at Full Surface Painting as well for all my videos and content as well. And uploading content for the show as well, coming soon as well. So y'all gonna be getting hit with it from multiple different ways, multiple different platforms, and multiple different people. So go ahead and follow along. And what we're going to be talking about in the next episode for sure is tapping into a visionary project that I have in my mind. Something that I kind of like, I really, really want to get into working like this year. A short film on pretty much being an entrepreneur. Like it's like a mixture of like some 8 Mile type shit, along with if you watch HBO's Ballers, so, talking, making deals, closing deals, making, getting things going, but also too showing the effect of trying to pave your own way, and the fact that you gotta answer to somebody when you're trying to make a move for real. When you're trying to make multiple moves, you always gotta answer to somebody. But what it boils down to is this: how the fuck does it make you feel in the moment, and what is your fucking dream? At the end of the day, in my personal opinion, if you yourself have an exit plan, then there's no reason in the world why you can't succeed at whatever that you're trying to do. So long as you have an exit plan, then you'll always have avenues to be able to get there, because you figured out your way out. Now just trying to figure out how to put those gears in place to get there. So that's what we're going to talk about on the next show. Kenwan, thanks again for having me over here. Good as fucking back, as fire as fuck for real. Nigga is feeling good right now, always feeling motivated when I come through. This is like, this is my church. This is where I come for to get fed, to get re-strengthened. So, I appreciate you for being able to provide this space, and, looking forward to doing more shit, man.
Oh, for sure, man. Thank you. Thank you for that, man. Thank you for that. This is my sanctuary. You know what I'm saying? This is my Lounge 87. That is, a certain, has a certain place in my heart. I spend most of my time out here. I think a lot out here. I handle a lot of business out here. I spend a lot of time out here. I think out here a lot. I do a lot of business out here a lot. I smoke out here a lot. That helps my nerves. I'm at peace when I'm out here. This is my office. This is where, such as yourself, man, you come through to be able to, hang out, kick it, recharge, get inspired, motivated, we strengthen each other, and, go out to the world stronger than we came in. So Freedom Speakers, thank you for tuning in once again. We out.
Chill.
Keep it